Hi friends, I'd like us to take a moment to think about your favorite book that maybe your mom or dad reads to you at night. We've been talking about using illustrations as a tool to decide what a word is and or what those words mean. Even parents sometimes have to look at the illustrations to help them read a book. By using the illustrations, it can help all of us become better readers. Today we will be rereading Sidney the Kangaroo as a class to see if we can use the illustrations to help us read. Okay, so here's Sidney the Kangaroo, the book that we've read previously, but before we read this book, we are going to talk a little bit about using illustrations to help you read. So we're going to start off with a chart like we've done before with the who, what, where, when, why, and how. So we're going to start at the top here with who. Does anyone have any idea who we'd be talking about when we're talking about using illustrations to help you read?
Me!
Yes?
Me!
Oh, you! Of course! Okay. We're going to make a stick figure because you all know I'm not good at drawing. Okay, so what about the what? Does anyone have any ideas for that?
Is it books?
Yeah, what kind of books? Books that are really easy for you to read or books that challenge you?
Books that are hard.
Good job. Okay, books that challenge you. What about where? Does anyone have any ideas for that? Where we would use illustrations to help you read?
During reading time?
And where does reading time happen? We can say during reading time.
In the classroom.
Yep, so in the classroom. And we can use your answer for during reading time, and we can use that for the when.
Oh.
Good job, Morgan.
Thanks.
Okay, we've got two more left, and then we'll read the story. What about why? Who has ideas for that? I can help you out if you're troubled.
Does it help us learn words?
Yep, it helps us determine words that we don't know. So, yep, it helps us learn new words. Okay, and what about how? The very last one. How? If we're not really sure, I can help you out. I think how could be using illustrations to help you guess. Think that would be good? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this chart I'm going to hang up on one of the walls in the room, and then you can look at it whenever you need help on when you're thinking about using illustrations to help you read. Okay, so since we've already done that, we're going to move on to Sidney the Kangaroo. Okay, so I want you all, before we start reading, to close your eyes and think of a favorite book that your mom or dad reads to you. Does everyone have one? Okay, so now you're going to turn to your neighbor and tell them why you like that, what the book is and why you like it.
Are you my mother? Because I like the pictures.
Perfect, good job. Okay, so now wiggle your answers if you think you have a good one. Morgan?
Are
you
my
share with the
mother?
class?
Are you my mother? Because I like the pictures.
Perfect. Okay. So, because we read this book before, we're not going to read it all over again. We're just going to read a couple of certain pages. So, I'll read this page to you guys, and then when I get stuck on a word, we're going to use the illustrations to help us figure out what that word is. Okay. As Sidney got older, he spent more and more time out of the, this word right here. We're talking about kangaroos. It's something that kangaroos have. You see right here on her tummy? What is that? It's a pouch, right? Okay,
Yeah.
So we use the illustrations to figure out what the word pouch was. Okay, so he learned to hop and What do kangaroos do? They hop and...
They jump.
Good job. So we're using this, we're sounding the words out and looking at the illustrations to figure out what the word is. Okay. He learned to hop and jump, springing into the air with his strong back legs. Well done, Sydney, said his mother proudly. You will grow to be a big, strong kangaroo. Okay. So tap your knees 2 times if you think you know, if you could figure out what these words were using the illustrations. Nice job. Okay, so we're done with that page. Now we're going to move on to the next one. Okay, Sydney's mother grew tired quickly, and she knew she'd have to stand and fight. The dingoes closed in on her, trying to bite. If the dingoes were trying to bite her, what do you think she could do to fight back from them? She's using her legs, and the dust is coming up, and the dingoes are flying out into the air. What do you think's happening?
Is she kicking them?
She is kicking them. Good job. Very smart. Good observation. Okay. You see how we use the illustrations throughout this book to figure out what the words were? We looked at the words and the pictures and we tried to put them all together and we did it successfully. So that was a really good job. Now, before we go back to our seats to try to read our own stories, we're going to use this little board here, things to remember. Just a couple of things that we're going to write on the chart here to remember when you're thinking about using words to help you read. So the first thing we need to remember is that when you're looking at the illustrations, you also need to be sounding out the words. Okay, that's one thing, and we got one more star here, so we're going to pick one more thing to talk about. Okay, what about how the light bulb will go off in your head when you figure out what's right? So when you sound out the words and you look at the illustrations, then there's going to be a light bulb . The light bulb will go off in your head. Okay, so some takeaway points as we go over these one more time. Things to remember about using illustrations to help you read. We need to sound out the words along with looking at the illustrations so that you can better your reading skills. And we also are going to have that moment of enlightenment when the light bulb goes off in your head. And you're going to know exactly what the word is, and you're going to be so proud because you used the illustrations and sounding out the words to figure out what the word actually was. Okay, class, so we're going to go back to our seats, and we all have books that we've been reading, and so we're going to take those books, and we are going to look at the illustrations if we can't figure out a word, and we're going to work together and try to figure out if we can figure out what those words are. Okay, so I'm going to dismiss you all back to your seats. People wearing blue shirts can go back to your seats. Red shirts, yellow shirts, black shirts, and every other colored shirt there is. Okay, thanks for paying attention today, guys. You did a good job.